My name's Chukwuemeka Vincent, the Computer Science Department. I'm here to present a research work which I carried out. And the theme being the impact of information and communication technology in teaching and learning, with special reference to Umar South Government. The work was the output of an investigation of the impact of ICT on learning, particularly in Umar South, and it sought to establish a relationship between the introduction, the application of ICT in information and communication technology into the classroom process and the determination of products and purpose for education, which is learning. Looked at the availability, the accessibility, and the usability of ICT resources in the said local government. It employed descriptive survey technique. Data was collected using questionnaires. 120 students were selected from a population of 950 using simple random technique. ICT, information communication technology, is seen as an important instrument to supporting new ways of teaching and learning, and this prompted this research. In fact, the innovative use of ICT can facilitate student-centered learning. DREN 2005. Hence, every classroom teacher should use learning technologies to enhance performance. Statement of problem. The researcher is concerned mainly about the impact of ICT in teaching and learning, and relates it to the causes of poor performance, of poor impartation of knowledge. The concerns included the following: lack of equipment in schools, lack of technical know-how by the teachers, lack of training and in handling of this equipment was also seen as a negative influence. Negligence on the part of the states, agents, especially the governments in power, and of course, the lack of basic computer skills among secondary school students due to poor exposure. Scope of the story.
Don't worry about the school. Let's go to chapter 2.
Okay.
Tell us about the theory. Right. Adopted.
Alright.
Seminar.
Yeah, the theoretical framework upon which the work was done was built from the Nigerian National Policy on Education 2024, which states that computer literacy is therefore inevitable for the students, the teachers, the principals, if schools are to be effective and if academic goals are to be achieved. The classroom is seen as a small society, and as such, technology is having an increasing impact in schools throughout the country. In the same vein, an introduction or implementation of government policies to encourage the use of ICT as an instructional material will go a long way to enhance learning in various subject matters. surveyed, but 3 out of the 10 were sample size, and 950 total population, out of which 200 personnel were in top, and we had a success rate of about 0.87, which showed that there was a relationship between ICT application and the business of learning. And the research method was actually the study using descriptive survey design. The population, as I have said, out of the 16 schools in Umuahia, 10 of them were surveyed, but 3 were used. 3 separate schools.
What is the statement of population?
120 students, out of which 20 students were selected from each class. The students were divided into 5 strategies. There's 1 in 3.
That is
Using classes as the basis of the 20 students did. So instrument for data collection was questionnaire, like I said earlier, and the evaluation was actually carried out by 3 experts drawn from Godfrey Okoye University State.
From which university?
Godfrey Okoye. Recommendations were made, and they included 1, that in pursuing effective learning in our schools, government should provide institutions at all levels with basic information communication technology and make it compulsory and mandatory that students should get acquainted with the system. Government should also ensure adequate electricity supply, like the way it is here. The unsteady supply of power is also a challenge, as discovered in this study. It's also recommended that teachers should be more connected to teaching using ICT. And finally, that schools should appeal to NGOs, to international donor agencies, to the private sector, to fund the ICT department and see how schools can improve teaching to be enhanced.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you give us a statement of that?
Well, before I flip through these papers, I want to say that this really research are concerned, the work.
I not with your work.
Yeah, one on the causes of abysmal performance in schools, and they looked at basic lack of equipment, technical know-how, lack of trained teachers in ICT handling. Then of course the nightmare of navigating through negligence, negativity on the part of the administrators of some government-owned schools, where funds are released for purchase of such items and they are diverted. Evidences from the research also show that some schools were given projectors and they disappeared. So these are some of the things that I looked at as the